The FBI is hoping you'll watch this next story closely.
The FBI on the hunt for this man, seen viciously beating police with a metal pole, then aggressively jabbing officers trying to defend the U.S. Capitol. FBI agents are urgently asking for the public's help to identify him and 9 others.
This attacker trying to smash his way through glass doors with a cattle prod.
That buzzing sound you hear is from bolts of electricity.
More video of an attacker beating officers with a table leg and nails.
One shows a man with a canister dousing the cops below him with a thick spray of some kind.
They say this man assaulted D.C. police officer Daniel Hodges, seen here screaming for his life. The unknown suspect ripping off the officer's mask. Did you think you might actually die that day?
Yeah. I mean, that absolutely crossed my mind.
Another assailant wanted for hitting and punching officers.
The man punching him in the helmet over and over again. One more look at that. Here it is from another angle.
Here, an older man breaks through a barricade and charges police. The FBI asking for the public's help in identifying all of the attackers.
Again, those are the 10 most violent suspects who attacked police and have not yet been identified. Hello, everybody. I'm David Shuster, and thanks for joining us. Those videos are tough to watch, and they underscore the violent nature of the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol building. Authorities say at least 138 officers, 73 from the Capitol Police and 65 from the Metropolitan Police Department in Washington, were injured. The injuries range from bruises and cuts to more serious damage, such as concussions, rib fractures, burns, eye damage, and a heart attack. One officer, Brian Sicknick, collapsed and died hours after being attacked with bear spray. 2 other officers involved in the response to the Capitol committed suicide within weeks. Many of the Capitol and D.C. police have described the horrors from that day as medieval because of the brute hand-to-hand combat and the use of blunt objects as weapons. The cops have said that if you were an officer and get into a fight on the street or during an arrest, it may last 5 minutes. But on January the 6th, some police were in the battle for 5 hours. The chief of the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department says that some of his officers who served in Iraq described the riot as scarier to them than their time in combat. Like combat, health experts anticipate that some of the police involved will suffer for years from post-traumatic stress disorder. All of this underscores why the FBI and Justice Department have made identifying all the rioters on January the 6th the biggest and most far-reaching investigation in a decade. So far, investigators have identified and charged more than 300 people. Dozens of the alleged attackers have sought release pending trial, but have had judges reject their requests. And the arrests keep coming. 13 members of the Proud Boys have now been charged. The white nationalist group emerged in recent years as some of Donald Trump's most vocal and violent supporters. Federal investigators describe the group as one of the chief instigators of the January 6th riot. A few of the group leaders charged with conspiracy allegedly guided about 100 members into the Capitol with radios and bullhorns. And some of the Proud Boys were the first rioters to shatter windows and confront officers inside. Law enforcement authorities have repeatedly said you would be hard-pressed to find another day in U.S. history when police encountered this level of violence at one event. Thankfully, the FBI and Justice Department are not about to forget how awful and despicable this violent attack on our democracy really was. Much of the public has not forgotten either. It is why law enforcement officials, with the public's help, are confident that the 10 most violent rioters not yet caught will soon be identified, charged, and sent to jail.